the pain. I see light in the rain. The dreams of brighter days. Tell me what you're thinking. I have hope in my spirit, flames of love in my heart. Baby, let me tell you something, I'm about to dance. You realized you're not in control. Once again, tell you once again. Hallelujah, I'm on my way to be the best version of me. Mama knows how to wake you up to dance. Mama knows you're not a mama knows how to wake you up to dance. Mama knows how to wake you up to dance. Mama knows you're not a mama knows how to wake you up to dance.
Hi, and welcome to Unshakable with Lovell Casiero. I am so glad that you have joined today. I have talked many times about my faith and how it is the foundation, and everything I do is rooted in faith. I came from 3 generations of ministry. I'm the 4th to work in ministry in my family. I just had a situation happen today that I wanted to share while it was fresh, and I know there's probably someone out there that needs to hear this, but I try to make sure that I have a standing devotional that I do every single morning. I can recommend some if you're interested. I've done Draw the Circle. I've done that one twice. It's a 40-day devotional. I'm currently doing one that I do online. It's D-U-O-M-O, Doom. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, to be honest with you, but it's a wonderful devotion. It starts with prayer, and then it goes into a topic. It really has kind of spoke to me during the journey that I'm on today. But oftentimes I bring that up because oftentimes my devotional will take me into a research type of mode, right? So in today, it actually was talking about prayer and how you pray, and not only how you pray when you're asking God for something or you have a need in your life, but just communion with God, that you stay in constant prayer and communion with God, and that you kind of walk in that space all the time. And it led me to Acts, the 4th chapter. And this is where Peter and John were preaching. And so, of course, knowing Peter's the perfect example of grace, because Jesus said, "You will deny me 3 times." He said, "I would never leave you." And even if it meant death. And Jesus said, "Before the night is over, you will deny me 3 times." He did. But Jesus redeemed him and forgave him and made him the rock, the church, that we now are in community with everyone because of our faith and the community of Christians. But it was interesting because my devotion this morning brought me to Acts, the 4th chapter. It recommended that I read it. I did read it. I also read, in my office, I read from the Leadership Bible by John, the Maxwell Leadership team put out a leadership Bible. And I love it because it correlates it back to how you apply it to leadership in your life. And I was delighted the other day to get a call for coaching, and they found me because they were looking for a faith-based coach. And so I really was happy to be able to wear that banner, if you will. But I wanted to share this today. It comes directly from, it actually is a wrap up of Acts, the 4th chapter, verse 10 through 13, where the Maxwell Leadership Bible comes back and gives you 7 leadership advice, or things to think about as a leader. And I wanted to just share this, and it's coming straight from the Leadership Bible with John Maxwell's team. first of all, seek the truth. I think that is an amazing piece of advice, because we so often in the corporate world have to put on a facade, or we feel like we got to show up being what we think other people expect us to be. But we need to first seek the truth. You never find yourself until you face the truth. And so I've often said that many of you will not remember this, but when I was very young, I remember a motivational speaker, and the theme of it was be true to yourself. And I used to think that was the most questionable thing. Like, how do you not be true to yourself? Because even if you are fabricating something, you know that it's not true. So you know the truth if you will stop and take an opportunity to let that truth settle in and live that truth. Number two, change. Courage is the power to let go of the familiar. And you may not like where you are today. You may feel like you need to move on to your next opportunity. But because we get so comfortable where we are, we'll spend years staying somewhere where our growth is stuck, our impact isn't working anymore, but we are afraid of the change. We like what is comfortable and what is familiar. The third thing is express convictions. Convictions help us to stand alone. The test of courage comes when we're in the minority. It wasn't always easy for me to go to work and let my Christian life and my faith in God be known. It was taboo. You don't talk politics. You don't talk religion. I don't really discuss or argue or debate either politics or religion. But I do show up being me, and me comes along with a very deep, strong, rooted faith foundation. So sometimes when I have to show up and stand for what I believe in, it's not always the most popular place to be. I'll use this as an example. I've used profanity. I'm not perfect, and I'm not saying that I never use profanity. But one day I was sitting in a boardroom, and I felt like the other woman in the room was trying to make herself look tougher, stronger, more impactful by using profanity. And I realized, like, it only made her diminish herself. And I said to myself, you know what? That's not a good look. And I'm going to stop using profanity. I do a pretty good job of that. I can't say that I'm perfect, but I do a pretty good job of that. And I realized that I was doing it to be in the in crowd, because that's what a lot of people do when you want to make a point. You make a point with profanity, and I decided not to do that. I'm not judging people, and I live with an Italian from New York, so there's definitely my ears are not virgins to profanity, but overcome obstacles. Whatever you do, someone will think you're wrong. Expect trouble. Project courage. So you're not going to, and basically what the Leadership Bible is saying, you're not going to please everybody. So don't try to be a people pleaser. No matter what you do, some people are going to love you. Some people are not going to love you so much, and some people are not going to love you at all. So just remember, overcome the obstacles. People will put roadblocks. I always say, there's always a naysayer ready to tell you you can't do something, but challenge yourself to do what other people think is impossible. if that's what your vision is, and that's where you feel like your purpose is, and that's where your calling is taking you. Learn and grow. I talk about this in my own book, Lifelong Learner. You never get so old you need to stop learning. And even I look at people in the world, in the workplace today that started, they're facing retirement, much like me. They're in their retirement years, but don't spread that rumor, because I didn't retire, not retiring, don't have that in my future planned anytime soon. I just decided to pivot to a new journey, not retirement. But a lot of people are facing retirement and embracing retirement, and technology may have left them behind. And now I was just doing an interview with an amazing guest that you'll see soon, but we were talking about AI and how that's changing things. So there's always something to learn. And every time I pick up my Bible, it's a new learning experience for me, even though I've been reading the Bible since I was given my first one, when my granddaddy gave me a little New Testament. I've read the Bible all my life. I can still find things I don't know, or it speaks to me differently. So I recommend you put that on your lifelong learning list, is to also stay in the scripture. Lifelong learning will help you grow, and you haven't learned until you step out, take a risk, and do something new. And that's what the Maxwell Leadership Bible is, the point it's making on number 5, learn and grow. Number 6, take the high road. John Maxwell wrote a book on high road leadership. And there is I love this. I'm reading specifically, there is no traffic jam on the second mile. Like, take the high road. A lot of people choose not to do that, and you will differentiate yourself if you take the high road. Lead others. So this is what I realized in my career was the most important thing for me to do every day was lead the team I had been made responsible for. And it was one of the most amazing careers anyone could ever have. I loved my career in hospitality. I loved my career in leadership. And leadership, according to the lesson today from the Leadership Bible, leadership is the expression of courage that compels others to do the right thing. And how often we impress or influence. I'm working on a piece for that right now where I talk about the difference between impression, coming soon, impression, influence, and impact. You need all three. One of the first things people notice about you is the impression you make. We live in a world where we think being an influencer is a very important thing, and how many followers you have and how many people are commenting on your post makes a difference, and all of those things. But what is true influence really about? It's not born on social media. And then lastly, in a future episode, we'll unpack the three as to why you need the impression, the influence, but it has to meet impact. It has to go to impact. And all three are needed, but equally important, but so decisively different in the why. So I look forward to bringing that to you soon. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson today of the leadership lessons from this, and especially the ones that correlate to Acts, the 4th chapter, verses 10 through 13. You might want to check that out. It's a beautiful, beautiful chapter to read, and it has a lot of resilience and tenacity, even when you're facing perhaps the loss of life. So I often wonder, as a Christian speaker, a Christian coach, and just dedicating my life to a faith based life, how it must have felt to be a person in those days, in the biblical days, when you could lose your life for expressing your faith. And in many countries, people also are facing that today. So I want to be strong in my faith. I want to be a light for the Lord. And I want to make sure that I've made an impact on the listeners and that something I have said maybe spoke to something you needed to hear. And until we meet again, I encourage you to be safe, be well, and most of all, be you. God bless.
Before you leave the show today, there's something really exciting I want to announce and share with you. I am rolling out the Elevated Life Collective. It is a community centered around coaching, and not just in your professional life, but also in your personal life as well as your spiritual life. I am so excited about this offering and what each of the tiers will bring to those of you who have been looking for something to take you to the next level as a woman. It is for women only, but it is called the Elevated Life Collective because it is my goal, it is my desire, and my vision that it will help you become the woman you were meant to be. If you'd like information, we'll give you the contact information. You can email me at my website. You can email me. Those emails come to me personally. And my email, my website is lovellcasiero.com. Really easy to find. You can contact me through there, and I'll be glad to provide you more information. You don't want to miss this. The Elevated Life Collection coming soon for anybody out there, any woman out there that wants to become the woman you are meant to be.
I see hate through the pain. I see light in the rain. Dreams of brighter days. Tell me what you're thinking.